Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.
Hello friends, and welcome to Fairfield Today. Paul Jasson with you. We are into this time of season where so many great events are going on as we head into the holidays with Thanksgiving and Christmas and just New Year's. Just a fun time to be around in Lancaster and Fairfield County. So many great events. I guess the last one will be the big ball drop that will happen here on New Year's Eve. We're looking forward to that. We'll talk about that later. But we'll get to closer things first. One of the groups that has really made an impact the last few years has been the Lancaster Handbell Ensemble. And they've got a relatively new director, but not a new person in the world of music. Brother Bill Whitman is with us. Bill, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Good to have you here.
Glad to be here.
You are now the big dog and the director of the Lancaster Handbell Ensemble, and that's a big deal.
Well,
you're a great group.
Well, we think it is. It's kind of an undiscovered treasure here in Lancaster, and
I think so.
We want people to know about it.
Yeah.
So, we've been doing some really great things lately, and thanks to Lita Cook, who got all this started here a while ago. I took over the realm last spring with my premiere concert.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought it was great. And we had a good group of people attend, but we'd like to have more.
Sure.
We just want more.
Yeah.
And so we've got some really unique things happening for the Lancaster Handbell Ensemble this season. Among them is our primary concert, which is on December 3rd at First Presbyterian, 3 p.m. on the 3rd, so that's not that hard to
Holiday and
remember.
Sacred Favorites with a special twist.
With a twist.
Leave it to you.
And so it's not going to be your normal run-of-the-mill, holiday carol sing-along.
Going to tweak that some.
We're going to tweak it. We're going to play some unique pieces or some old carols that have a special twist in it musically. So
I've got the lineup here, and there's some old ones, and ones we always enjoy. Sleigh Ride with Leroy Anderson. Some good ones. Santa Baby.
Absolutely.
Some classics, the ones you got to do. I'm not sure I know Wizards in Winter.
Wizards in Winter is
that one
relatively new piece.
Okay.
It's done by the Trans-Siberian Orchestra
Big
originally.
deal. That'd be a big deal.
So we're doing a rendition of that.
Yes, sure.
So
your version, the Bell's
version. Yeah.
So, and we were talking a little bit before he came on. The Lancaster Handbell Ensemble. Again, when I first started getting involved in this, and I would have Lita on here, I was pretty naive about bells. I didn't know what to expect. These bells, I thought, well, that's what handbells are. But when I went to the first concert with them years ago now, I was blown away by all the different sounds and all the different instruments. We've got a couple of them here. What do we have in front of us right here?
So in front of us right now, in the foreground, is a hand chime.
Yeah.
And a hand chime is different, and it makes a different kind of sound than a bell.
Yeah.
It's kind of a more ethereal type sound, or
muted.
Yeah, as opposed to the bell. Much more stark.
Sure.
So we use these in combination all the time.
Yeah.
And so some of the hand chimes we have are what we call our fundamental. So we have like these tubes that have to be on a rack because they're too large to hold and play.
I've seen some of those.
So we have some of those going for us. We also have 5 octaves of these hand chimes, 5 octaves of these bells, plus additional bells because we're always having to double little parts here and there, and so we need some extra ones to bring them in. So we're going to have a lot of bells on display there. Pretty unique.
It's going to be a pretty neat concert. Now, you actually get to do it twice, which is, I always think, better, because I always know whenever a church choir gets stuff ready. You do it one time. You work so many months,
right,
and bang, and then okay, come back next year. We'll talk. So you're gonna have a preview performance on the 30th up in Canal Winchester.
That's correct. Up in Canal Winchester at David's United Church of Christ.
Very nice place.
And that'll be Thursday evening, the 30th of November, at 7 p.m.
So if people can get up to that, then by all means go up there.
Please come in. You know, it's more of a preview concert, so it's more open.
Sure.
And it's our opportunity to kind of like get some of the little jitters out before the main concert, and also have people there to listen and appreciate what we do.
And then the big performance, the one you kind of get things rolling for the holidays, is on December 3rd. That's the winter concert, Holiday and Sacred Favorites with a special twist. Lancaster Handbell Ensemble, 3 o'clock, down just a block or so from here at First Presbyterian Church. Beautiful place. How many ringers do you have?
We have 17 ringers because we're doubling some of the ringing parts.
Okay.
Now I wanted to mention that we did find a piece. It's called Up on the Housetop.
Okay.
Up on the Housetop is a traditional Christmas carol.
Right.
And it's one of the earliest carols ever written that is not sacred. It doesn't have any sacred context to it. So, in fact, it's the second oldest Christmas carol that we know of.
Wow.
And it was written by a person named Benjamin Handbell originally, who actually was born in Rushville, Ohio.
Wow.
So that was kind of a unique piece about origins.
Touch. Yeah.
You know, so we have some people that live down there in Thornville, Rushville area, you know, that are playing in our group, so it's kind of unique for them.
Yeah.
And actually, Benjamin Handbell, his descendant is a friend of mine, Rick Handbell. And Rick Handbell used to be band director way back when, won't say when.
Okay.
Down in New Lexington, and since then he worked for Conn-Selmer Instrument Manufacturing.
Sure.
So music has been in his blood forever, and he didn't even know it when he was born.
Is that right? He found it out.
But he found out.
Nice.
About Benjamin Handbell and Up on the Housetop.
So your world, when I first knew you in the first iteration of Bill Whitman in the early years, was Mr. Band Director.
Yeah.
Lancaster High School, you went over to Newark, you've been around down in Hocking County, you've been involved down there as an administration and doing things down there.
Right.
So now, I guess, I don't know if it's full circle, but you're back to this. Are you enjoying the handbell aspect?
I am.
Good.
And it's kind of like you return to your roots. You know, you return to your roots, even though band directing is tough.
Yes.
It's pretty tough. But this is like a joy. You know, it's like everybody comes to the handbell rehearsal is there because they want to be there. No one's getting paid. I'm not getting paid. It's all because we love the music.
Sure.
And you know, so I can work these people. You were talking about cracking the whip earlier. I can work these people for 2 hours in a row, and they still will give me more if I ask them.
Sure.
But at that point in time, we're ready to go
And you
home.
can tell that when you go to this concert, if you go to either the one on November 30th up in Canal Winchester at David's UCC Church, or December 3rd down here at First Pres, you can tell these folks really enjoy this. I mean, they are truly into it. They're giving it 100%.
Absolutely. In fact, I have to adjust some handbells because we play them so much that every once in a while they come out of adjustment. So there's little springs in there that need to be adjusted.
Sure.
And usually I have to tighten them, but in some cases I have to loosen them because we can't quite hear the note when we need to. So it's an art.
So is you guys do just one concert, or you do another one in the course of the year?
So this year we're fortunate enough to do some unique things. We are doing a concert in the spring with the Lancaster Community Chorus on March 17. We're going to split that concert with them. That'll be at Crossroads.
That'll be a nice one.
And then we're also playing at the Area 5 Handbell Musicians of America. It's kind of like a regional event, and that's in Gahanna.
Sounds big.
Yeah, it's
First time for the handbell?
First time to do that for us.
Yeah.
So that's in April, and actually we're going to be premiering a work that Steve Caracciolo is writing for me.
Is that right? How great is that?
Yeah, it'll be wonderful. It'll be fantastic.
Good to have connections.
Absolutely.
And again, your connection with the chorale goes deep. And every chance I get to mention this, I'll just give a quick brief mention to our friend who is gone now, Jim Morgan.
Yes.
I almost get choked up just thinking about it. He was kind of got me involved in the Lancaster Chorale, and I know, he's one of your mentors for years and
Absolutely.
years. What a great guy, and a guy that just loved music.
Yeah, best man at my wedding. So
Yeah.
Jim was a great man, and we miss him. We
Yeah.
miss him a lot.
And he loved the handbells, and he loved the chorale, and he would
Sure.
enjoy what you're doing right now. He would be your biggest fan. I know that.
He would be there. He would be there. He's in heaven watching us there. That's for sure.
So it's the Lancaster Handbell Ensemble. It's holiday and sacred favorites with a special twist. That's pretty cool. About a dozen to maybe 10 great songs, new ones, old ones, special twist involved. Looking forward to that. Got these instruments right here. You never know what they're going to do. They're a wild and crazy group. I'll say that. And so we got 2 performances, November 30th up at David UCC Church in Canal, Winchester, 7 o'clock on the 30th. And then December 3rd, down here at First Presbyterian Church, just in the next block, 3 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
Nothing better to do than enjoy a time of the season.
Come out, enjoy, have fun.
Sure. Bill Whitman, congratulations on again, the latest reiteration. I don't know what will follow this, but you're enjoying your time now, I can tell.
Yeah, it's a blast. It's a blast. I'm really
Director of
enjoying
the
it.
Lancaster Handbell Ensemble, Bill Whitman. We'll be back on Fairfield Today.
The staff that have been here know what it takes. They've been on the other side. They see what it takes to make someone comfortable, to make the family comfortable, and really what kind of support they need. And so I think that's what really makes Fairfield what it is.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our 2 locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Our people make the difference. Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. Stop by today at any of our 3 locations and see why the difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Dagger Law has more than 110 years of experience in nearly every aspect of the law. When we're not just helping clients, we're helping the community. You'll see us at festivals, sporting events, and around town because we live and work here too. We are your neighbors, and we want to help you when you need it. When we help each other, we're stronger. Our community is stronger. Creating a strong, vibrant, healthy, and safe community is everyone's responsibility, and we take the responsibility seriously. We are local, we are trusted, we are experienced.
Fairfield County has so many wonderful resources for those in addiction with mental health issues. There's so many great court supports to promote accountability so that there's just a positive change across the board. There's so many great interactions within all the community agencies. The Adam H. Board is wonderful at providing resources for the whole population to be able to make sure that all those barriers are met and that those needs are taken care of.
I like working in Fairfield County because it provides me the opportunity to make positive change where I live. Fairfield County has a great network for veterans to help. It makes me proud that we know we take care of our veterans here.
I'm kind of new to it. I've been here for about a year, but it's interesting because you get a little bit of everything. We're right here smack in between the big city of Columbus and Appalachia. So you get to work with all kinds of people, get to do all kinds of things. But my favorite thing about Fairfield County is the people. They are passionate, they are fun, they are engaged, and it's a great place to work.
Community, connections, collaboration. The Fairfield County Way.
Greetings from Fairfield DD. We begin to celebrate the much-loved fall traditions as we move into cooler weather. We hope to see you at Football Friday nights and the County Fair. As you enjoy the season of changing colors, we also want to remind you of the change we hope to see. At Fairfield DD, we pursue a vibrant community where people lead fulfilling lives and everyone makes meaningful contributions. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram to learn more about how we remain dedicated to our community.
I want a doctor who listens to me.
From primary care to specialty medicine, we put your needs first by treating you like a person, not a number. Our primary care team will help you identify your healthcare needs and set goals for success, regardless of where you are in your wellness journey. We care for patients of all ages, with offices that are close to you. Whatever you're searching for, you can find it at Fairfield Medical Center.
Welcome back to Fairfield Today. Every now and then these things, we don't plan them necessarily, I'll say that. Sometimes we're just fortunate, but we've got kind of an all music, all Christmassy kind of feel to it. We had the first segment, Bill Whitman and the Lancaster Handbell Ensemble, and now, and he even kind of gave us a natural segue into this, he mentioned Stephen Caracciolo, who is the director of the Lancaster Chorale. Stephen, welcome. It's been too long since you've been on, but so long you were not bi-coastal, but you were a ways away in Maryland.
Yeah, that's correct.
In Baltimore, and you were a ways away for years. You came here to it's hard to get you. Things timed out. You came here for some rehearsals, for performances, but you're always so busy. But now you live much closer, and we can talk about that. But one of the events I've always looked forward to, kind of introducing the Christmas season and leading us post-Thanksgiving and into Christmas, was the Lancaster Chorale's Christmas concert, and it's coming up.
Yes, thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here.
Sure. Tell us about what's the name of this concert?
The name of the concert is At the Manger.
Nice.
And it features, of course, there's always joyous and lovely carols and things like that, but it also features some lullabies. Lullabies can be tender. Lullabies can also be have a little bit of melancholy or sorrow in them. And so we're doing a series of lullabies that speak about how different people who approach the manger felt about Jesus.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Little different take on that. And again, like we heard from the Handbell Ensemble, you kind of Christmas with a twist.
Well, you're always looking for, those of us who celebrate Christmas year after year after year, we know the joy, we know the introspection, and there's so much richness in the tradition, and so you always want to find something fresh, new to say from year to year.
Rather than, you don't want to retread every year. Right. Every year, something different.
Now, having said that,
yes,
there's still going to be favorites. You're going to hear, Deck the Halls, John Rutter.
Have to have that.
Yeah. So whenever we program for Lancaster Chorale, we always do this mix of, just kind of audience things that will delight the audience, kind of audience pleasers, but then also take people into this introspective place to think about something new.
Sure. That's coming up. What are the dates again now?
The concert here in Lancaster is at St. Mary's. It is Sunday, November the 26th. Okay. It is the Sunday after Thanksgiving.
Sure. Getting ready for the Christmas season.
A lot of people come to that concert and always say to us, this feels like the beginning of the Christmas season.
Right, and because it's early on in the whole time frame, so it's going to be great fun. Now again, we talked about, we didn't have you on for several years because you were away, earning a living, doing your real job over in the university world around Baltimore, and you've since kind of retired from that. You moved where? Columbus now?
Yes, we're living in Worthington, and we're delighted to be home. This is where...
And this is home for you,
This is home for us. It wasn't where I was born, but Sandy and I, my wife and I, have been living here in Central Ohio since 1980.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
so again, nice feel.
Yes, except for the years that we were on the East Coast, teaching there and conducting at the National Cathedral and singing there too.
And again, I'll give you a nice plug. You got that nice deal for the Ace of Trades and the Lancaster Eagle Gazette. My friend Jeff Barron, nice job there and a nice article on you. But you actually have a real Capital University attachment here.
I do. That's where Sandy and I met. We became sweethearts in college and then got married and raised our kids here.
Nice. And so for her, it's nice to be back too. I'm sure it has a good feel here. You got kids, grandkids?
It's a great question. It's like, why would you return? And the draw, we always knew we were not going to retire in Maryland.
Sure.
We wanted to return. Lancaster Chorale is here. This is where our kids are. This is where our grandkids are. This is where our friends are. And
so this is, I think, 8 years now for you with the Lancaster Chorale. You took over from the legendary Robert Trocchia. We would have Bob on, obviously living out in Bremen. It was much easier to get on than it has been to have you on. But of course they just had that thing out at the Historical Society out there for him, a nice display saying, his life and things at Fairfield Union, the Lancaster Chorale. But 8 years now, has it been a joy? Have you enjoyed? I know you've spent a lot of travel, probably a lot of driving miles, a lot of flying miles, a lot of things going on. But 8 years now.
I'm glad I'm not doing the traveling. But in all honesty, the leadership, the board leadership, just made that transition so easy and so rewarding. Working with the artists has been very rewarding. And what some people may not know is that Lancaster Chorale doesn't rehearse every week.
Yeah, that's right.
We only have five rehearsals
Yeah.
before we perform. It's usually a 10-day cycle, something
Sure.
like that. Yeah.
And I'll say that when you look at the program for the Lancaster Chorale, and they always have bios in there of the people, 90%, at least 90%, that is their world.
Yeah.
Whether they're high school band directors, whether they teach at universities or colleges, there's a big connection with there, and these people are what I would call quick studies.
They are, and for the first rehearsal, they learn all the music before the first rehearsal. These are folks who have sung English. We sing mostly in English, but there's Latin, Spanish, French. We've done, I forget what other languages. German. We do a lot of German.
Yeah. So it's the concerts are amazing, and again, the kind of the premier one I think of is the Christmas concert. Now you've in the last couple of years, maybe 2 or 3 years, you've gotten a more regional aspect. It is and always will be the Lancaster Chorale. We know that, but I think you've taken on a little more flavor of Columbus and around.
Well, when I joined the board, they were interested in what is your vision for the ensemble, and I certainly had a vision of doing repeat concerts in Columbus.
Yeah.
And to my delight, the board already had that in mind. There was no convincing. That was already on the docket of where the ensemble was going to go. So every performance we give here, we give in Columbus.
Stephen Caracciolo is with us. He is the director of the Lancaster Chorale, and when you look at, now obviously we know it has great reception here. You are 25, 30 years of Lancaster Chorale being here, and it's great. We all know that. But received well in Columbus?
Oh, yes. Yes, very well. The last concert we just gave in Columbus, we had 340 people there.
Yeah, and you're always in beautiful churches up there, beautiful venues, and that's important. I mean, that kind of sets the mood for whatever the piece is.
It is. Certainly it's true for any ensemble, but especially for a choir. Wherever you sing is so important. It's hard for choirs to sing outside.
Yeah.
Because the outside doesn't have a reflection from the walls.
Great acoustics.
And so when we sing inside, and if there's a little bit of reflection or a lot of reflection from the walls, it really gives the music quite a majestic and beautiful color.
You've been here for 8 years and been doing this. What do you have, like 25, 30 people in it? And I know things change depending on what the music is going to be, but 20, 25 people?
You have spoken exactly right. Depending on the program, we go anywhere from 26 singers to 18.
Okay.
A couple of years ago, we did the Rachmaninoff Vespers and some other things, and we ballooned out to 32. Maybe even 34 for that concert.
Now, for the Christmas one coming up here, instrumentalists, usually some organ music.
Organ and oboe.
Oh.
Yeah, in fact, after our time here today, and it's a delight to be here, I'm going to go right back to Worthington and get on my computer and write the oboe parts.
Wouldn't want to cut it too close here, Stephen, like that. You wouldn't want to get too far. So, and I know writing is a big part of what you do. Bill Whitman in the previous segment talked about you're doing something for the Handbell Ensemble, and then they are performing in the summer with the Lancaster Community Chorus. So, I mean, groups around, I guess that always works out well in a community like this.
I think so too. It seems to me that music has always been an important part of the community here in Lancaster, and we're just delighted that Lancaster Chorale is a part of that fabric.
Always talk about that, and we've only got about a minute left, but it used to be in Lancaster, if you finished up high school, pretty much your singing career was done, or maybe even your instrumental career was done. But now there's the Lancaster Chorale, there's the Handbell Ensemble, the Lancaster Community Chorus, there are barbershop groups around here like that. So there's a lot to bring people back to. If you want to get involved again, you can.
Yes, that's so important. We always say that singing tends to be the music for the lifetime, right?
Lancaster Chorale, again, Central Ohio's only professional choral group. Will give them their due. They are the best.
Thank you.
Done a great job of continuing Bob's vision, and now it's your vision, and gosh, thanks for what you've done.
Thank you very much.
Stephen Caracciolo with artistic director for the Lancaster Chorale coming up, and the date again for the one here at St. Mary's is
November the 26th.
Sunday. And that is the first Sunday following Thanksgiving.
Correct.
That's a good way to remember that. Be a great crowd up there. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. Thanks for joining us on Fairfield Today.
Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.